All right. How's everybody doing today? I just want to make sure I get everything posted here, either in the chat or whatever, whether we're on Kick or Twitch or any of these platforms. So just give me a second, bear with me a little bit. But finally, to follow comes up. What? Hey, pin something. Oh, there we go. You can pin that. All right, let's see if we can pin this on Kick as well. All right, that is pinned. And we're good. We got 39 people here. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know if audio is okay, at least. It seems like it's okay, but then again, we could have some slight technical issues, I guess. But yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you guys are interested. Also, if you guys want to check out my link for BTCC, the link is in the chat where you guys can get up to, you know, $10,055 worth of extra bonuses, and you can get a 10% deposit bonus when you sign up using my link. You can trade all the way up to a 500x leverage. Right now, my account honestly hasn't looked, I wouldn't say looked this low, but it hasn't been this low in a while. It's been going back and forth between, 6,000 and like 4,000. You've seen it. But I'm up, hundreds of percent at this point. But anything could happen. We could see it turn around. We could see it absolutely crash. We could see it, worth way less because, right now, not really the best spot for my account. I think it's at 3,300 from the amount we were at, like 6,000. So it hasn't been this low in a while, but, we're still up 1,500 on the positions that we have now. And when we look at overall, we went from $500 to $3,000. So I'll take that any day of the week. But again, anything could happen. We could see it completely reverse. We could see us lose everything in this account because it is leverage trading. So it is very risky. You just have to manage your risk well. So feel free to check that out. Link to BTCC is in the chat. It's also in the description. But the market doesn't really look the best right now. We're seeing everything fall. We're seeing the overall market cap at a $3.89 trillion market cap, down 3.71%. Fear is starting to, creep up on us. We're seeing it about 47. It still is neutral, but we're seeing it about 47 instead of, seeing that greed and how much movement we have seen. Altcoin season, we're back down from 74, I believe the high was, to now being at 62. Seeing Ethereum and many other things in the market that are falling way more than what Bitcoin is, percentage wise, not dollar wise or market cap wise. But currently we're looking at a $112,000 price point for Bitcoin, down 2.68% in the last 7 days, down 2%. Ethereum down 6% today, down to 4,200 ish, and that's down 7% in the last 7 days. XRP down about 5 or 6% in the last 24 hours, at $2.81, down 5.3% for the last 7 days as well. So it's pretty even there. We're seeing that, but either way, it's down 5%. This may be an opportunity for people. We could also see some liquidations. We haven't seen, I'll be honest, we haven't seen a liquidation train in a very long time. You know, typically when we see some major movements, we'll see that liquidation that comes with it, where many people that are leverage trading at a higher leverage end up getting liquidated, and you see that hit a certain level to where other people can be liquidated, and then others can be liquidated, and others can be liquidated, and it gets to a point where a spot where you didn't believe that it would get to, it ends up getting to that level, right? And you end up seeing it drop by a heck of a lot and your account be liquidated as well. So be careful of that. But BNB is still above $1,000. It's fantastic to see it at $1,000. It's at a 142 billion-dollar market cap. this could be playing catch up with XRP. We could be seeing it surpass XRP. I don't think that we should. I think XRP should see a lot more growth, but again, we have so much more activity that's happening in XRP. We could see a lot more liquidations that also happen within that. So just be careful, but it is at $168 billion market cap versus the $142 billion market cap. I have 10 BNB in my possession. And I want to see it go a lot further. I haven't done anything with it. I haven't sold my BNB. I haven't unstaked it because right now it is staked at about 1%. Honestly, are we cooked? I don't think we're cooked. That's funny. Um, I don't think. It depends what you invested into, I guess. Guys, if you could make sure you hit that like button. We got 92 people that are here. We got 20 likes. I would like to get up to about 40 likes. That would be amazing. Feel free to do so. But yeah, I mean, things are definitely looking at their lowest level. I'm going to get into the chat in a couple of seconds. Solana is at a $220 price point. It's down about 7.6%. Well, 7.7. Down about 6% over the last 7 days. Dogecoin down 10% over the last 24 hours, 9% over the last 7 days. This is the same reaction or same movement that we saw when Ethereum's ETF got launched, right? This is something that you always need to keep an eye out on, right? You have many Ethereum ETFs that went live that launched and Ethereum dropped heavily. We're talking about down to what was it, like 1,500, like really really low. And then it started to come back and started to see a lot more money that's flowing into there. These individual ETFs are good, right? They're great for the market and honestly getting traditionalists in the market. However, it's more about what's to come after that, which is the all-encompassing, the blue chip crypto, the top crypto ETFs, where you have a multi crypto ETF there. Those are the ones that are going to provide more of an angle for traditionalists to get into it because they're looking for something to buy and hold for a very long time. To invest into the broader market means a lot more to me and a lot more to traditionalists where they could be invested for a long time. So that's something that we needed to look out for. Dogecoin, again, down by 10%, 9%. I wonder how, obviously, those ETFs are moving at the same rate that we see here. Tron, down by 2.6%, which is not bad, but Cardano, 7, almost 8%, 8% for Hype, 8% for Link, 7.3% for SUI. Avalanche dropping from $34 down to $30 here, down 6%. Still is up 7% over the last 7 days, but that definitely took a little bit of a tumble here. This is all history. I want to look at the last day, right? From this 33-cent, $33, $34 level, it's down to a low here of $30.15 and currently at $30.81. I'm not worried about it. I still have my AVAX here. It is at a 10x leverage. Let me scroll down here. It is at a 10x leverage, but I'm up 819%. I invested at a $16 or $17 level. I feel like that is far enough where I can see it go through the maximum level of growth, right? I'm basically investing with $1,000 or $930, and I'm able to see so much more growth as it does, get up to $50 and $60 and $100. And how much can I gain at those points, right? If I go and in here, actually, I should probably, I could add. If I saw it at a level of $100, that's $4,569 worth of a gain. I'll take that, especially from where I am at the open price. I can see this through rather than, sell it off because it's at a 10x leverage, me buying at $30 here. I bought it $17. So I have a lot of room. And I don't even know what is this? It looks like the trigger price will be about $15. I don't expect it to come down there, but again, anything could happen. Someone said, "There goes my net worth." Yeah, look at the way this looks, right? Just fall off. It was at early this morning. We saw it just completely continue to drop off. Yeah, you see some green. People get a little bit hyped, they buy into it, but then it just falls off even more. Those are the ones that can get you short term. Absolutely, they can destroy you short term. Where you're like, oh, it came down to 114. Let me buy into this level. I don't know if there was another like resistance point or anything, like a support level. It doesn't look like it. But people bought in and they were like, it's green light. Nah, it's not a green light. Just dropped more. So liquidations can happen. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but we will see. We'll go through the rest of the market and also go through some of the biggest news in crypto right now. But let's go through the chat, see what people are saying here today. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Crypto Venom. That's a good name. Keith W, what's up? Any news on why the market is dumping? I mean, I have an article pulled up, but it's not a given to exactly why. We can see liquidations that happen very quickly, but we got to look at the stock market as well. And I want to dive into that article to see what they're seeing there. I don't want it to be just like, this is what the chart is telling me, or this is what the breakdown of candlesticks are telling me. This pattern was telling me that it's going to drop down. No, I want to know the exact reason as to why, like the money outflow. Is it outflow of money from ETFs or what? Today's crash just whales manipulating as usual. Could be. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Joey. Good morning, XRP rules. XRP does rule. I'm a huge fan of XRP. I'm glad that I changed my tune on XRP. If you don't know, I wasn't the biggest fan of XRP for the longest time. And it wasn't because of my research that I did into it. It was honestly for the lack of research that I did into it. I did the bare minimum and just took everybody's word for it. And who spoke the loudest? The people that spoke the loudest were the people that didn't believe in it, the people that hated it, the people that didn't want to see it succeed. So when you listen to those people rather than do your own research, you might not see all the positivities that you could see, all the positive moves that you could see with this. So when I first started to even think about getting into it, the conversation was always about the SEC and how this is going to go to zero and how it's going to be worth nothing because the SEC is going to label it as an unregistered security. We're not going to be able to trade it. They're going to have to delist it from places. And when we say delist it, we mean from different exchanges, but make it non-existent to where it is zero. And that was something that was always in the back of my mind. Honestly, not even in the back of my mind. It was right in front of my face because that's all I saw and all I heard. But then as I decided to do my own research into it, I bought 1,000 of it, right? Then I bought another 2,000 of it, giving me 3,000. Then I decided to kind of go all in and get 10 and 20,000. I was like, this is honestly all I really need because seeing the different things that can happen, I can gain so much in the end. And I'm like, well, if I believe in it up to that point, why am I not putting more effort into it? Why am I not putting more money into it to where it is my top play? Because I didn't have any, I wasn't a Bitcoin maxi. I wasn't an Ethereum maxi. I wasn't one of those people that jumped on those trains, even though I should have at $16 or $16,000 for Bitcoin and $800 for Ethereum. I probably should have jumped on board with more, at that level. But I saw more of an opportunity with XRP. And we've seen that opportunity so far where we've been able to gain, 500% or so, maybe even more from that. And, we have so much more growth after that. Not just a 5x, but way more than a 5x, right? If I would have put that money into Bitcoin, yes, it sounds great going from 16,000 to 100,000, or getting a couple and getting me to, you know, 200, $300,000. That would be fantastic. But I'm able to gain more and have more potential with something like an XRP. So, anyways, wasn't the biggest fan, did become the biggest fan, and now it is my major play in my portfolio. You know, it is. I consider myself an XRP maxi at this point. XRP is done. I hope you all sold when we were in the bear market. We are sorry. I hope you all sold. We are in a bear market, Adam Z says right now. I don't think that's the case. I don't think we're in a bear market. I think we are in bearish territory when I say the movement that we're seeing, but it's not a bear market. Right? We still haven't seen the full impact of crypto. We haven't seen the full adoption of crypto. It's set up for the end of this year to be very successful, the beginning of next year to be very successful, throughout moving into the second half of the year for 2026. And I'm excited for what's to come because it should be a lot more. But again, it always has me thinking. Like I'm always using my day trading, swing trading mind, and it's always thinking like, what are other people doing? And we have a lot of people that are waiting. A lot of people that are saying, hey, altcoin season is right around the corner. There could be a chance that we do not see altcoin season, and it's something to where, or altcoin season is not as strong. I think we will, and that's what I'm holding for. But again, I don't need the money as of right now. So I don't need to take that money out. I don't need to withdraw that money in any way. I don't need it. So with that being said, I could hold through an entire another bear market, another 3 years. I could hold through it, but I'm not saying that that's going to be the case, right? I think we're going to see a lot more positive, or a lot more positivity, a lot more growth, um, in the coming months, and everybody that is holding, you know, certain plays, or honestly most plays, are going to be happy with what they have there. Maybe you'll have people that have too high of expectations, and then they don't sell at those higher levels to where they gained, I don't know, 200, 300, 1,000%, maybe even more. Um, so I'm excited for what the market's going to give me. I'm excited for the unknown. Um, but I would like to see major positivity so I can at least hit some exit plans, because there have been no exit plans that have been triggered yet. I am tempted to buy more Grok coin this morning, seeing Grok at about 10% of a penny, um, or not even 10% of it. Well, yeah, 10% of a penny, to where it would cost me $1,000 for another million, especially with where I bought and how much I bought at. I'm down significantly on that play, like significantly. Um, and I still do see some life in meme coins, a lot more life in meme coins. So we'll see as time goes on. All good, but the market is doing its thing today. Yeah, it's not looking great. Good morning from Lakeland, Florida. Thank you for watching, Kevin. Tampa, Florida. Good morning. Good morning, Alan. Bought some more XRP or XLM, XRP, and H bar. Buy only what you can afford. Absolutely. That's one thing that I really agree on. I would say, um, is you know, buying what you can afford, because there's a lot of people that will jump into a play that they look at it as more of a gamble than, you know, an investment. And it should be something that you're looking at for maybe the long term, or looking at for some of these higher prices, not over the day, but over the month, over the quarter, over the year. Hope it doesn't fall under $2.64. I mean, I don't have any leverage trades that really um, bother me to have that drop below $2.64. Honestly, if I look at it close enough and I see a leverage trading opportunity, I may end up opening a leverage trade if it gets low enough. Um, but I need to zoom out and analyze the chart. That might be the next play that I have. It's just I don't have any free capital right now in BTCC to make those trades. Um, I have a lot of trades open, and we're gonna have to see. Dang, LTC for me is down by 48% um in BTCC. I got a little bit antsy, I would say, because VET is also down. I mean, that's an 8x leverage. VET is also down by 53% there. Quant down by 40% at a 3x leverage. Um, the current price is $89 or $90. That's not a bad price to be at. I just wish I had more capital to throw in. H bars down by 18% for me. OKB is saving the entire thing up by 280%, or $1,623. ADA is also up by 21%, or $214. And then obviously AVAX is up quite a bit for me, $752. But there are quite a few that are down, right? Jasmy is down by 16%. That's at a 2x leverage. So if that drops down to, I think it's, 70% of a penny, 60% of a penny. If it drops down to 60% of a penny, I lose my $553 that I put in there, which I don't expect it to get down there. But AVAX on the $93 I invested is up by 800%, 181% for Caspa. Compound is down by 34%, down by 55% for Auction, up by 20% for ADA, 53% for Lunic, that's down. Wow. So some of these could get liquidated, which is fine, right? It may be involved in a liquidation train. We might see some issues here as things are continuing to drop. But we will see how the market reacts and see if there's any opportunities moving forward with some of these low prices being hit. Also, if you guys want to trade on BTCC, feel free to check out my link. 10% deposit bonus. You can also get extra bonuses up to $10,055, 40% lower trading fees, and there's no VPN, no KYC required. You can trade up to a 500x leverage if you want to. So check it out. Link is in the chat. But kind of hope. You said, I hope it doesn't fall below 264, but I kind of hope. Are we cooked? Again, we're not cooked. Jasmine has been this low in months, or hasn't been this low in months. I'm starting to lose faith in seeing 4 cents again. I think we will. It's about patience, right? Patience will get you so much in gains, so much in positivity, so much in that hope that you all want, you all have. So for me, I I know for a lot of people, it tends to get, you start to get discouraged by a lot of this decreasing that's happening, a lot of the falling, a lot of the liquidations, all of that stuff. But it's all about patience. Patience. I don't know why this keeps doing that. It's all about patience. I gotta go this way. I can't go this way. It just feels weird. Yeah, it's all about patience. 100%. I mean, with a lot of the plays that I have, the individual plays that I have, the outright plays that I have, the leverage trade plays that I have, the reason why I've been able to be successful is because of patience. Um, so, not saying that you have to go and accept, that, where it's at and just go, oh, I need to, sell, or I'm not saying that you need to hold forever. Do whatever you feel is best for your portfolio. Um, but I do see a lot more success, not only 4 cents, not only 6 cents. I see a lot more for Jasmine coin. It's just you need to see the money flow into altcoins. Altcoin season hasn't happened yet. We've been at 72 when it comes to altcoin season, and honestly, I think it shouldn't have been there because the movement was like everyday movement, right? We saw things like, the only thing we didn't see was BNB get to these levels, right? BNB created a new all-time high. There have been a few things that have created new all-time highs. I think Solana has created a new all-time high. AVAX didn't create a new all-time high, but there's a lot of things that haven't. There's a few things at the top of the market, right, that have created new all-time highs. Obviously, Bitcoin has created a new all-time high. I don't think Ethereum did. It probably got close, or did it? Yeah, so August 24th, 2025 was 4,953. So it resisted from that $5,000 mark. So it created a new all-time high a month ago. Uh, Bitcoin created a new all-time high. XRP did not. XRP didn't get to the $3.80 level. Should be at the $4 level very soon. BNB has created a new all-time high. September 20th, 2025. A day ago, it was at $1,080.48, which was great to see. For crypto.com, though, they had it at 1,100. So people were buying at $20 higher than where BNB was at its highest point, which was very, very interesting. Because I got a notification telling me that BNB was at $1,100, and I'm like, that's great. That's a fantastic milestone, a fantastic level to hit. And now there's nothing but, you know, clear skies ahead of it, right? But that $1,100 mark didn't get hit overall, right? It may have been trading at that level there because people were buying at that level, but no other place was at $1,100. So if you were buying at that level, you have a hell of a price to get to, a price that hasn't been obtained. So yeah, BNB hit a new all-time high. I believe Solana also reached a new all-time high. So maybe not. That was 8 months ago. I didn't know. For some reason, I don't know. I didn't see that. $294 8 months ago. I did not see that. I mean, I definitely saw it rise at those times, but I don't remember seeing a $300 price point. Did you see Solana get to a $300 price point? Let's go back a year. It's saying somewhere around, what was it, January 19th? Somewhere around January 19th that it got to, I guess, $261, but they have it listed at 294. Do they have candlesticks? Yeah, so it's telling me, can you get the heck out of the way? This dang thing. Get out of the way. Yeah, so I guess they did get to 290 something. That's amazing. I did not know that. And I have Solana in my possession. I did not know that it got to $300, which was how high of a market cap at that level? That doesn't seem right. This isn't all history. Back from January 2025. So this is 127 billion-dollar market cap. Did they add more supply that I didn't know about? I mean, if they did, well, no, I don't know. But it's been consistently increasing since that time. They're also showing a weird time frame. Anyways, we got 131 people here, guys. If you could hit the like button, I would appreciate it. It'll get me to 70, 80 likes. There goes my net worth. All right. Let me continue to go through this chat. Hasn't. Yeah. Just got here, Matt. What the heck is going on? Crypto market's just dropping. Are you bullish or bearish at the end of this year? I'm bullish. There may be some people that are bearish. I'm bullish for the end of this year. Buy the dip, and it keeps dipping. Yeah, that's how it goes. This is where I was talking to my brothers about investing into crypto, investing in general, and they were asking me about, could you easily go, I want to buy at the bottom and sell at the top and can continue to repeat that. And I was telling them, they were like, well, first they were like, can you do that? Because it looks like if you look at a chart, you could find a way to buy at the bottom and sell at the top, buy at the bottom, sell at the top. I was like, you make it sound so easy. you make it sound like it's the easiest thing in the world, and it's not. Um, it looks like that way because you can look back at it and go, okay, I could buy here, I could sell here, I could buy here. But while it's happening, what's telling you that this is at the lowest price that it could possibly get to? It has dropped a lot, right? Bitcoin has dropped a lot. Ethereum has dropped a lot. XRP and all these have dropped a lot. What's telling you that we are at the lowest price? Right? You can go in and read the chart and it's saying, oh, we have certain resistance points, we have certain support levels, but we've seen them support levels and resistance points, whatever. We've seen them broken through very, very easily. Patterns seemingly hold up in a way when you want to see those patterns, right? So when you see the patterns in the past for something that looks like it's shaping up, you're like, okay, this pattern could go well, but then you look at it at a 5 minute chart and that pattern is non-existent. You look at a 1 minute chart, that pattern is there. You look at a 10 minute chart, that pattern could be there. But then in other instances, it may be reacting in the 5 minute chart or more of the long term instead of the short term. So it's something that's a lot more difficult than people make it out to be, but you can make it very easy by knowing that, like, reacting when the market drops so much, you look at more of a long-term outcome rather than that short-term high risk trade. You know what I mean? So it's very difficult to buy low and sell high when you're being aggressive with those trades. It's easier to buy low and sell high when you're investing in at maybe a 2x leverage or in for the long term. Because if you do, let's say you're trying to predict the market, you're like, oh, it's at 110. This is amazing. I know it's going to bounce from here. So you decide to go in at a 500x leverage. You give yourself no wiggle room. What's telling you that this is the bottom? Charts don't mean shit in 2025. I mean, I I believe you to an extent. Charts do mean a lot, but um, these patterns and all that, I don't look at those and go, this has to work because this pattern tells me so. It's not a traditional market. It's not going to do that. Do you see sports and TCG as a serious investment nowadays? TCG. Sports and TCG. I don't know what TCG is. Do I see sports as a serious investment? I would love to invest directly into sports. I wanted to be a part of the expansion team in Philadelphia, but I mean, I can't find anywhere to put my funding, right? It's all based on private sales and private equity and all that stuff, and only for certain people to be involved. I would love to have a stake in WNBA basketball. Would love it, but I don't see any way in, and I want a clear way in. I don't want any of those, like, any of the back ways to where it's like, yeah, just give your money to me and I'll put it there. It's like, no, that's not how that works. I've heard of people even getting scammed with trying to invest into WNBA teams, thinking that the expansion team was coming, and they ended up dealing with shady people because they're trying to go like more of the back end route, the back alley route. You know, how much Lunic do I need to become a Lunic millionaire? Um, well, it depends what happens with Terra Luna Classic. If some things like what they're mentioning could happen, then we could see way higher prices. And then honestly, you only need 1 million. Um, but to give yourself a guaranteed level at that, I would probably say somewhere around 100 million. Um, because as it gets to a level of a penny, which would be a $50 billion market cap, which is not crazy. Um, if it gets to a level of a penny, then you have $1 million with 100 million coins. So that's a way of kind of in my mind, guaranteeing that, if you see Terra Luna Classic getting to a 1 cent price point, if you see it going a lot further, then obviously you're going to gain a lot more. But it also means that you have to wait it out. As you get to a half of a penny, which would be a 25-ish billion-dollar market cap, um, as you get to a half of a penny, you have a $500,000. I don't know how many people can look at a $500,000 and go, yeah, I'll just hold it until it gets to a million. I mean, it's very difficult to do that, right? I see people that are doing that with XRP now, and they're struggling, and they're like, I just want to take this $500,000 and spend it or use it towards my bills or whatever. And that is something that you could do, but they're waiting it out because they understand the maximum potential of what this is. They understand even not even the maximum. You can look at it and go, at 25% of the value, what you believe it's going to get to would be absolutely life changing for multiple lives. uh, Someone mentioned a super cycle this season. Interesting. Who? When Jasmine reaches 4 cents, I'm out, and I'll wait for a crash to buy back in because we all know it will. I mean, yeah, that's something that we definitely have seen many times over. Is as we see these high points, as we see these high levels, you tend to see those crashes that come afterwards and the fall. But um, that last time to where you're like 4 cents, I'm out. That's when it goes to 10. That's when it goes to 20. That's when you end up having the unlucky draw of the straw, right? Where you're like, other people found a place to sell at 6 cents and they were like, I gained a ton of profit. I'm happy about that, right? And then they're able to buy back in and they have that opportunity to buy back in. But why why do you believe that 100% it will sell back off down to 1 cent again? It can get up to 10 cents and then never look back. It can get up to like XRP, it can get up to a $3 price point and never look at that 50 cent level ever again. Now you're buying at an even higher price because you have to believe in it. You have to be a part of it and you have the FOMO, the fear of missing out. And now you're buying at higher prices. So you're back in the same situation. So it's tough. It definitely is, right? I don't look at it and go, I want to time the market. I do it based on price points, based on my exit plan. And as my exit plan gets hit, great. If my exit plan doesn't get hit, then I continue to hold. I continue to see to research it. I continue to look for more and more things to happen in the crypto market, or in the market in general. Like it's tough. It's very tough. Gold, silver pumps. I was watching. Speaking of gold, I was watching a lot of uh, the track and field in Tokyo. Was it the world championship or something, world title, something like that. But I was watching a lot of it. I love track and field. Harper was doing, well, somewhat was doing track, but they don't have track for that young of children. So she liked it though. She won a couple. She came in first in her age group, in her grade. In multiple. I think in the what was it the 50, was it the 50? I think they ran a 50 and 100 or 60 and 100. I don't know. They ran something, but um, she came in first in both of those and first in the shot put as well. But there was only three girls that were in second grade. This year she's in third grade now. She's going to be able to do a little bit more. I don't think they allow her to do the 400 yet. They'll allow her to do the 200 and they'll allow her to do the 100. But it was just like I don't know, it wasn't like a serious meet. They had no training beforehand. She just ran. But it was cool. She liked it. Yeah, I'm thinking we're cooked. I'll just keep holding, I guess. At least it will be long-term capital gains then. Yeah, I don't think we're cooked. I think that's a hilarious term. But no, I don't think we're cooked. I'll tell you, I'm kind of skipping, but charge some shit. All these YouTubers say a price will go up, but price drops. Yeah, I mean, you can't. Nobody 100% knows what the market is doing. I I know that for sure. Right? I'm not going to tell you that the market's going to explode before it explodes. I'm going to talk to you about when it's making a move because it's so hard to predict exactly what the market is going to do, especially with cryptocurrency. It's so volatile. There's so many things that need to happen for crypto to absolutely break out and explode. So yeah, I'm not looking at it and going the crypto market's gonna explode next week, right? Or the crypto market's gonna explode tomorrow, right? I may tell you to look out for, what's gonna happen tomorrow. There may be a major price movement tomorrow because of the things that are happening, right? There's either a major reaction positively or a major reaction negatively. And we've seen both sides of that. We've seen Bitcoin with that major reaction where Bitcoin ran to higher and higher levels. The ETFs got launched and Bitcoin hit new highs and created even newer highs and levels that we thought it was going to resist from. It broke those levels. Ethereum did the exact opposite. While we thought that Bitcoin, it was going to have the same reaction as Bitcoin, it didn't. XRP, Dogecoin, looking like it's doing the opposite of what Bitcoin did, and the same for what Ethereum did. So there's that. It's like it could rise, it could fall, which sounds like any prediction ever, right? Just trying to cover all bases. But there could be a major reaction that happens Monday. There could be a major reaction that as soon as you see activity and people that are interested in trading some of these ETFs or owning some of these ETFs. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the sell off today. We doomed. It's not October yet, people. Still September, worst month uh, of the market. Is September the worst month? October is usually inherently positive, right? Last October was. I'll tell you what created a new all-time high. My blood pressure after seeing the dump this morning. I mean, waking up, I definitely was like, ah, man, I want positivity. I don't want any of this negative stuff. Get that out of here. It was close. I've been holding XRP for close to 7 years now. A long-term holder, currently holding 60,000 XRP. It's been a roller coaster ride. Everyone expecting it to go up so much, but hardly does anything. Very annoying. Yeah, I mean, when you have so many people that are like hold, 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 and many people are holding and waiting for that thing to happen, and it tends to. I'm gonna say I'm not trying to say that's not going to happen. It tends to not happen because so many people are holding. But then when you see that overreaction where things drop drastically, that's when you see many people that get pushed out. And when those people get pushed out, you see more people that are coming in. And then you see that larger increase and it creates more FOMO. And the people that sold now are like, well, I don't want to miss out on everything. And instead of them holding at their price level, let's say their price level is $2.50, they see it rise to a level of $3.50, $3.60. It then starts to decrease. It decreases down to where it gets to 270, and they're like, "Well, I don't want to be a net negative. I don't want to lose money on this." So then they sell it, and as they sell it, it creates more of a sell-off, getting down to about 230, right? Then after it gets to 230, that's a major support level, let's say, and then many people start buying. More people come in the door, and now it's back up to $3 again. Now it's back up to $3.10. And those people that sold at 270 are now going, I don't want to miss out on what's happening here because it's running. So I'm going to get into it at 310. They bought in higher with less coins, the same amount of money, less coins at a higher price because they decided to get fearful. And that's just what happens in the market, right? You will always have those people. You will never have 100% everybody that believes in it. There are people that are investing in XRP that don't understand what XRP is, what it's going to do, anything that it has done. They just invested into it because they saw this is a cryptocurrency that many people are investing into. This is a top level cryptocurrency. It has grown by this much over a short period of time. So, it's tough. It's definitely tough as a new investor, and it's definitely tough as a long-term investor. But you understand that roller coaster. This is why you need to take profits regularly so you can utilize opportunities like this. Very true. I think the issue with that is the fact that you're trying to time the market with your long-term portfolio. If you do it with a short-term portfolio, for me, I do it with BTCC. It just so happens that I didn't make the investment at really the best time in the world for many of my investments that I made recently. Some are down 40 to 50% in my leverage trading portfolio, but that is a short-term portfolio. That's not going to affect my long-term portfolio, because if I was looking to time the market, let's say I was in XRP and I had 100,000 XRP and I was looking to trade off and on and move in and out for XRP, it's very difficult to say that I would, or very easy actually, to say that I would have lost money throughout this process trying to time the market, because no one can predict that XRP is going to get up to a level of $3.10 and not see any more rises unless the entire market falls down. So the entire market falls down, which you didn't predict, because anything could happen with these ETFs, and now it drops down to $2.80, $2.90, and now you're still in that play. Like it's difficult to manage. That's why I try not to time the market with my long-term portfolios. I'd rather keep it in there, let it hit my price targets for the long term, let it hit my price targets that I really wanted to hit for my exit plan, and then I can have major capital to invest in a bear market, right? That's what I'm looking for. But it's so difficult to do that. My closing point will be $10, so hopefully one day it will get to it. I believe it will for XRP. If we have a conviction in a play, we should dollar cost average, just sit back and have patience. Very, very true. I think that's the best advice you could have. Patience is everything. And a lot of people don't want to be patient. I have tried to teach many people, so many people, and it's not about teaching them, make the same gains that I've made. It's about them being able to make any gains at all and being able to compound those gains as they move forward. If people ask me for advice when I'm in person, like they're like, how do I make money in the crypto market? There is a 99.9% chance that I will talk about the long term, that I will talk about getting into a play to where you can establish at least some positioning in cryptocurrency and establish a more of a patient play rather than I'm going to invest $1,000 and turn it into 4,000 tomorrow, right? While there are those opportunities out there, that's not what you need to start with if you're getting into the crypto market. Understand crypto, first of all. Invest into the plays, some of the top plays, because they have the most information on them. They have the most things that are happening with them. So invest into those for a long term. Whether you're talking about leverage trading or not, I would recommend doing a very, very low leverage trade. 2 to 3x if you're looking to do that, because it's most likely that you will not see things drop by 33% or 50% unless we're in that bear market, right? So that's something that I tend to do anytime that someone asks me for advice is I look at the long term. I'm not telling you get into Dogecoin right now because it's going to jump, up to 50 cents, right? Or it's going to jump up to $1. I'm not mentioning that. That's not my first inkling when someone's like, hey, what do I invest into? No, you want to take the traditionalist route, but with cryptocurrency. XRP to $5 by December. We haven't broken $3.50, $3.60 yet. Yeah, I mean, we haven't broken the all time high yet. Once we get to that all time high, there may be a lot of FOMO that jumps in. Good time to pick up. And I say may because no one can predict 100%, but we could see a resistance point at the $4 level. We've seen it at the, what, $3.65 level, so close to $3.70, close to the all-time high of $3.80, 84. Good time to pick up some tokens. I've been eyeballing. Yeah, I've been looking at some to where I'm like, I might want to throw some more money into Grok or some more money into Magic, because I think that they hit levels that are decent, that can give me a decent return. But then there's also some others as well. But try to allocate at least a portion of your long-term holdings for short-term trading. It really helps. Yeah, you should. What resistance are you waiting for XRP to break? Um, what resistance am I looking for to break? The all-time high for sure. Not for the short term. I'm looking for the long term. That's what I'm invested for. So I'm not looking for a like a major short-term resistance to break. I'm looking for a major long-term resistance to break. We've already gotten to the $3.65 mark. We've already broken the $200 billion mark for a market cap. And I think the only logical step next is the all-time high, which is $3.84. We can break that point. There could be a lot of FOMO that jumps in. A half a million isn't a lot, to be honest. A $500,000 isn't a lot. A $500,000 is a lot of money. I don't know how much money you guys have, but $500,000 is a hell of a lot of money. It can change. Like, there's $100,000 that can change so many lives nowadays. Like, people think they're like, oh, I'm in a ton of credit card debt, and then they tell me how much credit card debt they have, and it's depending on how much money they make. They tell me how much credit card debt they have, and it's like $4,000, and it's like, yes, that adds up, especially if you're paying minimum payments. But $100,000 can change that person's life, right? By taking out that credit card debt, by paying off maybe their car loan and having their card where they own that. But while that does change your life there by being able to pay off things, do you now go, I can afford this item over here? Because if that's the case where you're changing your mindset to now believe that you can make $100,000 in a year or every single year from extra money, that's the problem. It shouldn't go to, oh, I have $100,000, I can buy a $50,000 car. It's like, no, you're not going to buy a brand new $50,000 car or even upgrade your car at all, right? You have the ability to pay off things that you've had for years, that you've had for maybe even a decade, right? You could have student loans. You can pay those things off. $100,000 can go a long way. A $500,000 can get you a ton, can do wonders for you. You can put $500,000 into a dividend account and get $1,000, or actually more than that, almost $2,000 worth of dividend payments per month that you're receiving as just that, right? You're holding 500,000, it's growing by maybe 10% if you put it in the right things over the year. You're able to gain $50,000 of gains from that and take that money out. And yes, you'll pay taxes on it, but you can take that money out at the end of the year if you wanted to, or beginning of the year, whatever. And now you're sitting on basically a gold mine that can just generate more money for you. The more money that you have, the more opportunity that you have to make money off that money. If you have $500,000, yes, again, you're going to have to pay taxes on that when you gain it. But if you have $500,000 in the end, let's say after taxes, um, that's to actually make it better, $600,000 in the end after taxes. You could put that money into a dividend account, make $2,000 a month on dividends, but then also see 10% increase, 5 to 10% increase over the year with your $600,000, maybe even more depending on the things that you're investing into. Meaning that you gain $60,000 a salary from just holding that $500,000. That can go a long way. 100%. I have only about $200,000 in my dividend account, which I want to grow a lot further, but I'm able to gain a lot in the end, but then also get paid dividends in the end, which is fantastic, or get paid dividends now. If I go to my Robinhood, actually, I haven't looked at it. It's currently at 182,000, and I would love to grow that to a level of 500,000 or $1 million, right? And that's my goal. My goal for the end of this year is to get it to $250,000 with the help of some money that I potentially can make from cryptocurrency. I want to get it up there, which I will invest. I'll have to take about 70,000 to put in there from whatever I gain to get me up to $250,000. But if we look at all history there, just from that, I've been able to gain 9% over my history of what I have there. Now, I'm not invested into many tech plays, and I should be, and I'm starting to get there, starting to get a little bit more of a tech presence. But looking at how much I've gained 15,000, $277.81 over that time period, right? It could be more. As I have more, I can gain more off of it. Make your money work for you. That's what it's about. So yes, $500,000 is a lot. Big pullback before takeoff. I think it's like bow or bow and arrow. I said bow and arrow. You'll have to pull back hard, load up, ready to fire. It's building. Yeah, I can see that. I've been hearing the same old story on repeat for months now. I mean, you're gonna hear it for a long time. Patience. When people get the least patient, that's when things break out. Don't marry your coins, make some money, sell. I mean, whatever your plan is, whatever your strategy is, Ricky Boy or whoever, um, you know, do that strategy. But many people will have a different strategy, and some work, some don't. Um, but as long as you are patient within that strategy, and understand if it is truly working, like if your strategy is to buy all meme coins, there could be a chance that your strategy does work out, but there's a high chance that your strategy might not, right? Um, if you are buying $1,000 worth of every single meme coin and then you end up seeing one of those meme coins break out to where it's up, I don't know, 10,000%, or it's up a crazy amount, right? You end up making all the money back that you invested on all the other meme coins plus more, right? That could work out. However, it's very risky because it's not a given on whether those meme coins are going to absolutely break out, um, unless you have some sort of strategy or some sort of thing that's going to tell you this is the reason why it's going to break out, and you also have community, you also have popularity, and have volume, and have all of that stuff. But again, everybody's strategy is different. My strategy is completely different than other people's strategy, and I expect you all to build your own and not copy mine. Um, but some work, some don't. But if you are patient enough and educate yourself enough, your strategy will work out. So if your strategy is to sell, then sell. XRP to 50 cents, I would love to see it. Because guess who would have a hell of a lot more, even though I already have a lot? It would be me. I can ruin that. It would be me. um, everyone are shake out. It's normal. Yeah. Uh, Sell off hurts. It does. Sometimes. Got a scoop of Bitcoin like it's ice cream. I got a scoop of Bitcoin. Uh, always buy the dip. Yeah. Stocks, cars, houses, almost anything. Buy the dip. I do want to buy. Me and my brother were talking about real estate. We were talking about trying to own a property that we both can like fix up and whatnot. I I want to get a property that's already um, like something that's new, small, in the city, um, and then get something that's generating income, and then we can utilize that income to fund kind of the next project. Um, but I don't know about doing something that's going to have months and months of renovation, and especially with me not having as much time at all, and him, you know, you're not going to make an income on this property, and we have to put in a lot of money in order to fix it up. Take profit. Your portfolio is never in profit. My dumbass bought Jasmine at 4 cents. Have you been dollar cost averaging into it? I feel like you never, like, you look at an opportunity. For me, at least, the way that I look at it, if I bought, let's say I didn't own Jasmine Coin at all, and I saw it at 4 cents, and I was like, um, it's lower than 6 cents. It has the ability to grow to a lot further, right? So I buy it at 4 cents. I also leave the door open for being able to dollar cost average into it. Um, and any money that I do find, any opportunity that I do find, I look for an opportunity. The problem that we deal with is most people look at these negative times when it's falling, when it drops down to 1.2 cents or whatever. They'll look at it and they'll go, I just want it to come back. But then when it does get back to 4 cents, what do they say? Anybody, any clues? We have a lag on this, so I'm just going to tell you. Um, they say I should have bought more. And it's always the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. It's like I should have sold at 4 cents. And then when it gets past 4 cents and it gets to 6 cents and 10 cents and 20 cents, it's I should have bought more. When you had the opportunity, like the opportunity is here to buy more of what you believe in. But if you don't fully believe in it, you're not going to average into it. I believed in CRO so much so that I bought at 36 cents. I bought at 39 cents. I bought at 50 cents. Then we saw it drop down. It went down to 30 cents again. Bought a little bit more. We went down to 25 cents. Bought a little bit more. We went down to 10 cents. Bought more. We went down to 5 cents. I bought the most that I could possibly buy. And I believed in it. I'm going to continue to believe in it because I have the opportunity to average down. But most people don't take advantage of that opportunity. They're right in front of your face. All of them. They're right in front of your face. Where Bitcoin gets to $16,000, $17,000 right in front of your face, giving you the opportunity, telling you, hey, I'm here. If you believe in me so much, buy it. XRP gets down to 30, gets down to 30 cents, 40 cents. And it's like, we have an opportunity here. What are you going to do about it? You see Dogecoin that gets down to a low level, right? And then jumps up to 30 cents more recently. You had the opportunity to buy Dogecoin at those levels. The opportunity is in front of you, but you decide not to take on that opportunity. No offense to Umbreon or anybody else that may feel like, oh, Jasmine Coin was at 4 cents. Jasmine Coin was at 6 cents. And I bought at these levels. But what are you doing now? Right? If you don't have the money, you don't have the money. But there always is opportunity that's out there. And there are people that I've seen that told me they invested into what was it? They invested into Terra Luna Classic when it dropped down the first time like really low and then broke out to um, what was it, 20% of a penny or something like that, or it might be 2% of a penny. It jumped up to 2 or 3% of a penny, which was very high for those prices, like reaching $1 billion market cap at that point, and seeing $1 billion go into it. It was like the end of 2023, I want to say, something like that. Um, Maybe the end of 2024, whatever that time period was, it broke out. Um, and seeing that breakout, seeing it move so much more, they took advantage of that opportunity when it was at a low point and they made money out of the deal. Yes, they did end up selling at those levels and sold at the 3% of a penny level or 2%, 2.5% of the penny level. And they made a lot of money from it, but they took advantage of that opportunity. I do the same thing with everything that I own. I want to take advantage of that opportunity. I'm looking to do the same thing with Grok. Grok is at um, 10% of a penny, which means that it costs $1,000 to buy another million. Now, that would be a risky play because it hasn't experienced any level of growth recently, like in months and quarters. So without seeing that, you have to believe in something. You have the opportunity to do so. It doesn't mean that all these opportunities will flourish and you'll be able to make boatloads of money, but ones that you have high conviction for, why would you just sit on the highest price possible when it's in front of your face? An opportunity, you know? I wish I sold months ago. $200,000 in dividend account. Nice. I've never had over $20,000 at one time in my bank. Yeah, I mean, in your bank is definitely different. Um, I've had a lot in my bank just because I knew I was going to pay taxes on everything. So, like my taxes last year were insane, higher than I've ever paid before. I don't think they'll ever be that high again, but I mean, potentially they could be, but um, that was a lot. But having it in a bank versus having it in investments is completely different. I'll tell you that. Where um, in these investments, you're having your money work for you, right? If you just put it and save it, into a traditional savings account, you're technically losing money with how much the cost of everything is going up. Um, and by the time you get to a point that $20 may feel like it's only $1,000 or $2,000 because of inflation. So make that money work for you. Make it grow by 10%. If that 20,000 is in the market, um, you're adding 2,000 maybe every year, which is not a crazy amount, but it's better than having 20,000 for the entire time. 10 years later, you still have 20,000, which could feel like a lot less. But then the other person that put 20,000 in um, their dividend account or different ETFs, they grew it to 22,000 the first year. They grew it to 24,000 the next year. They grew it to 26,000, 28,000, and then they get to $30,000, and now they're adding another $3,000 every year. And if you continue to add to it, you're compounding that. That's what it's about. That's what investing is about, the traditional way of investing. So I like to marry the two. I had a conversation with a former coworker that was like, do you want to, why are you investing in more of the traditional route when these hedge funds and um, many businesses or whatever that really want to see the downfall of certain plays and don't care about smaller investors? Why are you going the same route that they are by trading in these ETFs and just trying to make 10% per year or whatever? And I'm like, you have to marry the two. You have to, it's not a fact of like if you can't beat them, join them type of thing. It's more of like, hey, I want to gain some of these same percentages that they're gaining, but then also still invest into short-term plays, still invest into markets that they may not fully believe in, to where you can have massive amounts of growth in your own portfolio and make some change there. But then once that becomes a traditionalist market, which it looks like they're trying to turn it into, as you see more ETFs coming about, you now have the larger gains and the available growth for that specific market over time. So I want to marry the two. I want to marry the short-term gains. I want to marry the speculative market. I want to marry the traditionalist long-term gains, the ETFs, the 529 accounts, all of those things. I want to marry all those things together. I want to combine all those things together to have one great portfolio of risk, no risk, some risk, and a lot of risk. I want to marry all those things. Yes, I've been dollar cost averaging into Jasmine. Okay, so you have been doing that. Have you been able to get your cost basis down? Is your cost basis down below that 4 cent level? Because I would imagine at these levels you can buy at least 4 times the amount that you could have bought at 4 cents, right? Because it's currently at like a 1 cent level. Any opinion on Jack Claver's price prediction? I haven't seen what his price prediction was. What prices will you start selling XRP? $5. I came a little late. Did you talk about the Monster AVNT? No, I haven't talked about that. Yes, I've been dollar cost averaging into Jasmine whenever I have spare money. So less than 4 cents now. Okay, good. That's what it's about. When you have those opportunities, take those opportunities. I've done that plenty of times, and that's why I've been able to go from being negative to being positive in my overall positions, because I find those positions and I'm like, okay, I'm negative on this one. How far can it go down? It goes down a certain amount. I'm averaging into it. That's just how it goes. I set the bar, right? I set a certain amount in there. Sometimes it's a little higher than what I wanted, because I just want an entry point into that play, because I believe in it above where I initially buy it for sure. But if I have an opportunity to see a break even point a lot earlier or gains a lot earlier, I will take on that, right? I will take that opportunity. And sometimes you don't have the luxury of having money to do so. And I have hit that wall as well. Why are you this bearish? I'm not bearish at all. Do you think the bull market will peak in 2026? I believe so. Yes. This is a great opportunity for sure. Shall I sell all and buy after everything crashes? I'm already down 10% overall. That's up to you, right? I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do. My game plan is not to do that, because if it is truly long term and you have the patience, dollar cost average is the way, especially in a market that is speculative. That's not a traditionalist market. It's starting to be. We're starting to see some traditionalists that are moving in, but yeah, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Yes, it's now like 3.3 cents. That's not bad. You're getting there. Jasmine can do a 5x to 10x this cycle. Or you're asking me, can it do a 5 to 10x this cycle? Yes. I think it will do more than that. From a 1.2 cent level to a, let's just round down to a 1 cent level to a 10 cent level, and to a 20 cent level, potentially a lot further than that. I would like to see 10 to 20 cents by the end of this year. So, yes, that's what I'm looking for in Jasmine Coin, is 10 to 20 cents by the end of this year. Um, However, like we said, anything can happen. This is my game plan and what I see within it. It doesn't mean that it's a sure thing. It doesn't mean that it will always happen or it will be the largest growth that we could possibly see. No, it doesn't mean that that's the case. We can see the exact opposite. This is my game plan and what I see within it, but it doesn't mean that I'm right. Um, did it already reach highs? Did what reach highs? Soul. All right, yeah. It just tanked and now um on the raises again on the raises again. What does that mean? Long time was waiting for this moment. Was waiting for me to be live or waiting for things to crash. Guys, we have 148 people here. If you guys can hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of the videos. Also, again, if you guys want to check out my link for BTCC, feel free to check out that link. You can get a 10% deposit bonus, extra bonuses up to $10,055, 40% lower trading fees, and no KYC, no VPN required. You can trade all the way up to a 500x leverage if you want to. I have a couple of trades that are on there. I do not trade 500x leverage pretty much ever. I have a few times where I've done that. I've made money off of them, or at least two or three of them, and but then some other ones I've lost money. I put in $20 in a 500x leverage sometimes, and see if I can predict the bottom. But I'm not going to do a $500 level and a 500x leverage. It's not going to happen. um, so you got to make sure that you protect yourself, make sure that you understand risk management, um, and not creating more of a gambling mindset, because you could easily go, oh well, I can do a $10 at a 500x leverage every single time and make so much money from it, but you can also lose a lot of money from it. If you know what you're doing and finding ways to predict the bottom, you can make a decent amount of money from it. I've made a lot of money from some 5x leverage or 500x leverage trades. We're talking about thousands of dollars, and that was off of a $20 investment. But it's all on the understanding that, you know, this is like, let's say, the bottom of the market, and you find a way to predict that bottom of that market. I've had the instance to finding the bottom maybe twice. Is a crash due to liquidations? We tend to see continuation in crashes due to liquidations, but I don't think that's the main thing. We will see further crashes as we see more potentially liquidations. At what level will you be selling your Jasmine? I think the first level of taking profit is 10 cents, to take $100,000. Not $100,000. Take 100,000 coins, which is about $10,000. $100,000 would be my entire thing at that. I have a million Jasmine coin. Over leveraged amateurs getting liquidated while they sleep. I mean, yeah, people that are over leveraged tend to get liquidated easily. If you have even a 5x leverage or 10x leverage, you could get liquidated at some of these higher points. Like if I was in Litecoin at a 10x leverage, I would have already been liquidated in this play. Are the prices coming back? Let me refresh. Are the prices starting to rise right now? Or no? Let me refresh here. Because I thought Litecoin was a lot lower. And maybe I was looking at a different play. Maybe not. Maybe I was looking at a different play when I was staring at that. Must have been Quant. Yeah. Because some of these plays I'm down a decent amount. Other plays I'm up a lot, right? 274% or $1,600 on that. So, yeah. Yeah, if you want to leverage trade, the link to BTCC is in the chat. I currently hold 94,500 at 2 cents. I want at 2 cents. I want to get at least 100,000 before it pops. Okay. I mean, right now is not a bad opportunity for Jasmine because it's at 1.2 cents. Yeah, 1.26. Yeah, Jasmine Coin is at a $625 million market cap, $53 million worth of volume, 8% to 9% volume to market cap ratio at a 1.2 or 1.3 cent level. If I found this, below 1 cent, honestly, I'd be questioning whether I'm going to decide to buy more and increase my cost basis. Because my cost basis right now is 40% of a penny. I don't believe we're going down to that point. If we did, I definitely would have a lot more than where we stand here today. I'm talking about like literally throwing probably tens of thousands into that play if I could find it at that time. Sometimes when those things happen, you just don't have the capital. Like what I typically do with any of my extra capital is I throw it into long-term accounts, right? I'll throw it into 529 accounts. I'll throw it into dividend accounts. I'll throw it into places where I don't want that money to just sit in my bank account. So it's, I don't know, it's a little difficult to kind of have all of that together and say this can go over there because I have all of it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like I wouldn't do that. I would want to make money off of that money as soon as possible. Do you still hold your 1 million Grok coins? Yes. I want to buy another 1 million today. I don't know where Grok is right now. I think it's at 1% of a penny. So Grok is currently at 1% of a penny. It's at a $6.4 million price point. $4 million worth of volume, still 63% volume to market cap ratio. You have all that supply out there, 6.9 billion coins that are out there. So yeah, I see some major potential in it. It's just again, it's very risky because it is a meme coin, and over time, right? We've seen this a year, right? We've seen this at 1 cent. It currently could see a 10x from where we are here today. So it's like, what do you want to do? What do I want to do? You know, do I want to buy another 1 million, then lowering my cost basis a lot lower from the 0.007 level down to 0.003 or 4? It's between, yeah. So something like that. I don't know. That's where it's tough. And honestly, I don't have any money in Ethereum to do so. Oh, you know what? I already did buy another million, so I do have 2 million Grok. Maybe I should buy another million. That would be insanely risky, but it's only $1,000 um, compared to what I spent on it, which was 7,000. So it's currently sitting at 1,000 for the 1 million Grok that I bought, and I'm at a $6,000 loss from that. So that's massive. But do I compound that loss and take on this opportunity? But that's something that is highly risky, and I don't recommend that people do. But as I have conviction for it, I believe in going a lot further than where it stands. But yeah, I don't recommend that people do that. Um, However, I will hope for a V recovery. Why is Tron often overlooked by crypto influencers? It is one of the most used blockchains. I don't think it's overlooked. I talk about Tron, I just don't have it, right? There are um, people out there that are heavy on Tron, but it's not. I would say the reason why it's not talked about as much is because it's not quote unquote sexy enough, right? It's not the it's not something that has the most like popularity to go, all right, well, this is going to move the needle for your channel. This is going to move the needle for the conversation. I have many plays that I believe in that I hold that I haven't made a full video on. Right? I believe in AVAX a lot, and I haven't made a full video on it. I have a lot of AVAX. I think I have like 500 AVAX in my possession, um, and 100 that's sitting in my Forever wallet that I'll never touch. Right? So I have a decent amount of that. I have a decent amount of Cosmos as well. Atom. I have like 2,000 coins. 1,000 that's sitting in my Forever wallet. 1,000 that's outside. So I have um, a lot of things, but it's just it's not, again, quote unquote sexy enough. Do you still believe in Crow and CRO over a dollar? Yeah. You still hold your 1 million Grok coins? Yes, I have 2 million. Maybe you should. Um, I do that pretty often. I hope the market continues to drop so we can load up on many things. I mean, there's many people that didn't save any money and they can't load up. So they just watch the opportunities go by. But there's those select few people that have the money and they can load up on then whatever they see as an opportunity. I don't have a lot of money available right now, but I can load up on some things. And I am thinking about loading up on more Grok. I just, which I currently have 2 million, and I can. This is the thing: is that when I have that that 1 million Grok, I now have to react in a way to where I'm looking to make so much money from that Grok to hit some of these higher levels. However, if I'm able to have 2 million or 3 million, I can now look at it and go, I can make tens of thousands of dollars as I move forward, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars while still sitting on this million and still seeing the opportunity go a lot further. It could be an opportunity where you turn $10,000 into $1 million very quickly. Because $10,000 here wouldn't only get you 1 million, it would get you 10 million. So how far does that 10 million go? Can it get up to um, 10 cents? If it can get up to 10 cents, you have 10 million, you have 10 million coins, you can do the math, that's $1 million at 10 cents. So that's where it's like, do you take that risk? Do you take that opportunity? But then you also have to wait it out. And how long are you waiting it out? So, I don't know. I wish I had the funds already in my Ethereum like wallet. Um, yeah, because you also have things like Book of Meme. Like I have some USD DC over here. This asset is on Solana. So yeah, I would like to already have the money on there, but I don't. Actually, let me go over to Coinbase really quick. XRP is a 5-year hodl. Then we should see 1,000, more than $1,000, or is that less than $1,000? You see greater than. You should 1,000, around $1,000. Is that what you're saying? That would be amazing, but that's not my expectation, right? I would love to see it, and I honestly, for the amount that I have in my Forever wallet, I would love to see it. Um, but it's not something that I 100% need to happen. And before there, I would have a lot of gains, and I'd be happy with those gains. I bought Grok when they were high, so paid twice the price for my coins. Yeah, I bought it when it was definitely at a high point. It was like 70. I bought a million at 70% of a penny. It grew to like 1.5 cents. And I think before that, we saw it at a 3 cent level, um, which was amazing. Is XRP to you a long-term hold for you or short-term gains for you? So I think it's a definitely a long-term hold for most of not most of my XRP, for a decent amount of XRP, right? I have um, a lot of XRP. So 10%, actually 5% of my XRP is held for forever. I don't plan on touching it. I plan on holding it for the longest time unless it somehow reaches a level of $1,000 or $10,000. I plan on holding that and until it gets to a point where I'm like, this can go so much further, or it can go into different places that can just constantly gain me money in the end. Like if it's worth $3 million or more, let's say $5 million, then that's where you start saying like, okay, I could utilize that in my um, dividend portfolio and be able to gain me consistent money over time. While I can also have XRP for the longest time and end up making me. I don't need a crazy amount of money, right? Once I get to a certain point, I would like to just sit it somewhere and then just let it gain the interest. And I don't care about any of the major short-term plays, um, or even having these crazy long-term plays as well. So um, it's definitely a long-term hold. Um, I have forever cryptos, I have forever balances, but majority of it is for certain price gains. So a level of $5, taking a quarter of my position, um, a level of $10 and beyond that, and taking smaller pieces, not as much as I took the first time, but taking smaller pieces and being able to gain those gains in what would consider the short term, even though they are a long term capital gains tax, because I've been holding for such a long time. So it's kind of both, right? I will still be holding XRP 5 years later. I don't think that this will, in this bull run, I don't think that we will see XRP at these levels of even $100. I would love to see it, but I don't think during this bull run that we will see that. Throughout time, we will see the levels of 25 and 50 and $100 with all the things that are in development that are going to happen, and those things are going to happen potentially over the next bear market. However strong that bear market is, it will be a bear market nonetheless, right? People may say it's going to drop by 90%. I don't believe that's the case. I believe we'll only see 50% at maximum, and there may be a case we don't even see that. And yeah, if we do um, see a level of 50 cents, and it opens up an opportunity to be able to buy lower. However, if it's 50% of the all-time high, that's still going to be higher than where we are, right? If it's 50%, let's say the high point this bull market is $25, right? $20 if you want to be more realistic. 50% of that is still $10. It's still higher than where we are right now. So I do think that we will see a bear market. It's just we may not see these prices again for a lot of things. Here, here. This cat likes to be up here. I don't know why. What's your favorite dividend stock right now? My favorite dividend ETF is FDVV. It's a Fidelity dividend, or Fidelity ETF. I believe it's a high paying dividend one. But it's the reason why it's my favorite is because um, it's technology driven. And I think I haven't had many technology positions. My favorite one before that was SCHD, but SCHD hasn't performed well over the last year. It hasn't been great. But FDVV has been great. Um, Another play that I'm interested in that I'm actually putting $50 every day into is TDIV, TDIV. It's a First Trust NASDAQ Technology Dividend Index Fund. This is currently at $99 over the last week. It's up by 1% over the last year. It's up by 25%. So you're able to gain a heck of a lot from the position itself. Don't walk across my desk. Go that way. Go. Come on. I don't want you to put your butt into the camera. That's what I don't want. You need to watch yourself. Watch yourself, lady. Um, so stop. Go somewhere. Now you're gonna knock things off the table. Just stop. Um, so yeah, TDIV is interesting to me because it's a technology driven ETF, and I'm investing $50 every single market day into this play. My average price is $95, and it's currently sitting at $99. And the main reason as to why I invested into it is because it's heavily invested on technology, where you're looking at 86% in technology versus a lot of other plays that I have in my possession, my portfolio, in my possession, that have way less technology involved in it. And I feel like technology has run the last year, and I haven't really been a part of it at all. Right? I don't invest directly into the S&P 500 as much. I feel like the dividend is definitely too low. This dividend is not um, the highest. Let's see. Yeah, the dividend is not the highest. It's like 1.65. So it's lower than the S&P 500. Um, but it's giving me that technology side of things while also paying me a decent dividend with the growth that's there. So I do like this play. But again, my uh, main one that I'm putting $50 into this as well every day. And this has a technology percentage of about 26%. Some financial services as well. I have about $11,000 into that, or 200 plus shares. But one of my plays, the biggest play that I have in my portfolio is SCHG, which I have a $48,000 invested into it at an average of $27.11, currently at $27.40, up $507 on this play out of the $48,000. So it's not the best. But you can see here the largest sectors are energy, consumer defense, healthcare. Technology is only 10%. So it's not something that I look at as a major mover over time, right? If we look at the average, first dividend, 3.74%, really good. But we look at what it's been able to gain over the last year, it's only up by 2.84%, which is way lower than what the market is doing. 3 years, 8.9%. 5 years is an average of 11 or 12%. 10 years is an average of 12%. And then since 2011, an average of 12.5%, 12.6%. So it's done well. But yeah, it's just not something that I want to put a crazy amount more effort into. So I'm going to continue to throw money into technology sectors for now, until I get maybe FDVV up to a 1,000 shares. Yeah. FDVV is a quarterly paying position, though. I like some monthly paying positions like DHS and ticker symbol O. That's always a good play to go with. Anyways, that's my dividend portfolio and a little breakdown of that. We will talk about that. I talk about that on my Matthew Perry 2 channel, where I talk about stocks and honestly some personal finance updates, some stuff, some TikTok reaction videos and stuff based on like finance and stuff. I have a wait. Have a good night, Matt. It's getting late here in NZ. What's NZ? Where is NZ? Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. $1 growth still possible for the end of the year. I think so. I think it's definitely possible. It just depends on the outlook of crypto and how much um, FOMO and how much push and how big the altcoin season is going to be. Still in pre-sale. What's still in pre-sale? Pepe node? Is that what you're talking about? For XRP to reach $1,000, its current supply, the market cap would need to be 6 trillion, which is almost twice the value of all coins combined. I mean, you would have to round up significantly from, or I guess, yeah, yeah. Either way, 10 trillion when the full supply gets released. Yeah, understand that as you get to a certain point, market cap doesn't have as much of an impact. But I think for the short term, 100%, uh, market cap for sure is it can be a deterrent as well to have people not invest into those plays. Right, seeing XRP at a $200 billion market cap is a little bit of a deterrent because you're like, how how long can it sustain this level, or how high can it go above that? Many people didn't even believe that it would get to a $100 billion market cap. So seeing a $200 billion market cap um, was just like a shock to many people. Not a shock for me. I think it's going to easily get to multiple $1 trillion market cap. It's it's easily the most usable cryptocurrency that's out there, 100%, and the most well known to be the most usable cryptocurrency out there, in the most places, in the most banks, in the most institutions. Right. This is um, a project that you haven't seen the likes of anywhere. So if anybody can do it, if anybody can get to $5 or $6 trillion market cap, it would be XRP. Bitcoin, for nostalgic reasons, yes, you're going to think that people want to hold forever, and that's what these ETFs are for, is primarily holding into Bitcoin and believing into Bitcoin, kind of like it's gold itself. Um, so I understand that, and I understand Bitcoin growing a lot more. I think XRP will be worth more than Bitcoin. XRP will be worth multiple trillions of dollars, and it will be the number one cryptocurrency in the world. And this is my opinion, but I solely believe it. I 100% believe it. In the back of my mind, in the front of my mind, everywhere. So yeah, not sticking around for the $1,000 mark. So I'll still have some. I won't have all of it. At levels of $100, majority of my XRP will be gone. Um, but I will still have a large amount compared to some other people that have, they may have 10,000 right now, and I have 10,000 set for just forever. Like I don't plan on selling it, and I have no level to where it's in my exit plan telling me that I am selling it at all. So if it's not there, I have no plan for it. I'm not selling it as of now. So um, yeah, and that's a decent amount. I feel like 10,000 is a great amount to have, because right now that 10,000 is worth about $30,000. You heard of Maxi Doge? I have not. What's your thoughts? Again, I haven't heard of it. It's still crashing. Let's check. I haven't seen whether the market is still crashing. We're seeing a little bit of recovery. Ethereum's up by 1% in the last hour. XRP is up by 0.4% in the last hour. Still down by 5% overall in the last 24 hours. BNB is up by 0.5%. Solana's up by about 1%. Dogecoin up by about 1%. So we're seeing a little bit of activity, a little bit of movement. Maybe people are seeing this as an opportunity to buy because things are lower. So very interesting. New Zealand. Ah, should have got that. But I do appreciate you being here. Watching on my phone in bed right now. Well, I appreciate you watching. Thank you for commenting and for being here. But definitely get some sleep. Sleep is important. I'm 22 and I'm holding 1,800 XRP. Any advice, brother? Um, so I think that's a good amount. I don't know what your cost basis is, And also at 22, you have the opportunity right now. I don't know how much money you have, but you have the opportunity right now to where, um, if you are wrong, not heavily wrong, right? Because there's people that completely ruin their lives by investing money that they don't have into some of these plays because they think that things are going to absolutely break out. um, I don't know what your cost basis is, and hopefully you bought even lower, the $2 mark, the $1 mark, or whatever. Um, I think there's a lot of upside there. I wouldn't expect to make hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars from it. I would have a little bit of a lot of a lower expectation from it. Um, but you have the ability to be wrong, and you have the ability to wait because you're 22. You have time. So, um, you're able to hold for a longer period of time and see this, um, live its life, whatever that life is. So, my recommendation is to, find some plays, some other plays as well. Hold this 1,800 XRP for a very long time, right? This is something where you should go, I'm going to hold 1,000 of it forever, or hold 1,000 of it, or maybe even 1,800 of it for the longest time that I can hold any position. Then you move into some other plays that can maybe get you some of these short-term gains that you want, or shorter term gains that you want, while still investing into some other long-term plays. Just establish your portfolio. I don't know what your portfolio looks like, but establish your portfolio. Um, that's what I would fully recommend. And maybe you already have it fully established because I don't know any of your information or your situation. Also late, California. It's 4:03 a.m. That's early. That's not late. But it is definitely an early time to be up. I woke up at 4:30 at New York time. Pennsylvania time. Let's not say New York time. Pennsylvania time. I woke up around that time, and I started live streaming around 5 ish. I have a lot of NFL to catch up on. Um, I'm surprised with the WNBA that the Fever won the first game against the Aces. And doing all of this without Caitlin Clark is crazy. Doing all of this without Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, um, and Ari McDonald is just crazy. Those are, you like, I wouldn't say they're your top scorers, but Caitlin Clark is, and um, Ari McDonald has been doing great. I believe that's her last name, Ari. That's just because I'm not 100% sure, but she's been doing great ever since she got picked back up. Um, and Sophie Cunningham, obviously, her defense has been amazing this year, as well as her scoring. Actually, has been, before she got injured, was good. So, like, I'm excited. I'm willing to support. I want to support the Fever because I have no other team that's closer to me to support besides New York, and I don't want to do that. Um, but I've been to a couple of New York games, two of them, two New York games. Have two? Yeah, two New York games. One in Baltimore, and I was sitting front row, which was great, or floor seats. That was amazing. I watched the WNBA when they start dunking. Crazy enough, I mean, they don't dunk in games. I don't think they really have um, like, I feel like some of them, and I've seen them, can jump and actually throw one down, a couple down, but they don't dunk on each other. Like, my first inkling when I got to a point to becoming a rim grazer, like just barely dunking it in games, I would want to dunk on people and get up there to try and dunk on people. And I didn't even have the bounce to do that. And then when I did have the bounce to do it, um, I was looking to dunk on everybody. And I didn't even have like a 50-inch vertical. I had a 35-inch vertical, and I would still be able to get up there and get up there with two hands, and I wouldn't be able to do any catch any alley oops or dunk any alley oops, but um, unless I threw it to myself because I knew where it was going to bounce. But yeah, I think some of them have the ability to dunk. They just don't have the aggression to want to dunk on somebody or dunk in any situation. And there's a few. The I forget her name from Seattle, number 14. She can easily dunk with two hands, easily like cock it back and dunk two hands. I'm like, she should be dunking every game. And we're not talking about like a Brittany Griner type of dunk where she's like 7 foot and is a rim grazer. We're talking about like get up there. So yeah, I would. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with that. I'm surprised that the Fever have won against the Aces without Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Erin McDonald. But I'm happy for it because I want to see them win. But then, does that make Caitlin Clark's title, championship title, like, is it basically saying they could win without her? So if they don't win with her, then is she a distraction? You know what I mean? Like it makes you feel horrible if they get to a point. And I don't even know why she's still sitting at this point. She has a groin injury. I've dealt with a groin injury and I played through an entire season of football at that. Right? That's and I don't know how strong that groin injury is, but she's been out for like 3 months. Um, Top DGen plays put all my XRP profits into Yield Max ETFs. I mean, I don't know about that. How about them Eagles? I saw that. That's been all over social media everywhere. That block field goal was phenomenal. I want to see the entire game, but I've seen reactions to it where people were like, "Ah, the Eagles are going to lose. They blocked the field goal, returned it for a touchdown." I mean, they didn't need to return it for a touchdown, but they did. And then also the point spread was covered. I don't know. It was weird. This whole um, betting theory um, or conspiracy theory has been crazy. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. I started buying at 38 cents, so under $1. And yes, my plan is to hold long term, but might take some profit after $10. Yeah, I mean, if you were buying that low, then you didn't spend a crazy amount of money on that. But being 22, I remember um, being 22, having my I don't know, honestly, I went to college a little bit later, so I remember being 22 and not having a crazy amount of money because I was really just getting my life started, honestly. Um, so I could have, like, at that time, I could have invested in a Bitcoin at $2,000. That's crazy. Um, and I didn't because I only had $2,000. And I was like, I'm not spending two. I would have definitely sold. 100% would have sold it. Um, Plenty of times throughout the years if I had one Bitcoin at that time. So even if I would have bought, I wouldn't have had much money above the $2,000 mark because I understand crypto and I I don't know if I did want to understand crypto, but anyways, um, I remember that time when I only had $2,000 to my name, and I would invest, $20 here, $50 here, and think that it was a fantastic portfolio. Um, so if I would have held that portfolio and continued to invest like that to today, I would have so much more than what I have right now. My situation would be completely different because I would have been consistently investing for 10 years. Actually, it would have been longer than that. I would have been consistently investing for that long and the markets would have grown. Imagine investing into technology throughout the last, 10 or so years. 11 years, right? Imagine investing into technology for 11 years if I would have consistently continued with that. Invested $50 every single day into things like Meta, things like Twitter when they I first got started, but then that may have not worked out well because they're not a publicly traded company anymore, right? Um, but either way, would have invested into many of these things that got started and they were at lower levels. Microsoft was at $30, like, and now I think it's at like 400. Same thing goes for Facebook. Facebook was at I don't think it was anything back then. I don't think it was even a publicly traded company then. But still, like, you had the opportunity to consistently invest into even just the S&P 500 and see that grow. But I suggest that if you have, I don't know if you have a portfolio set up or you have anything set up for the future. I suggest getting your um, dividend portfolio and account established, right? Going into either Robinhood, going into Webull, going into whatever, and establishing an investment account and consistently investing something into there. It could be $10 a day. It could be $100 a month, but consistently invest into the markets. If I learned anything over time, it would be to um, invest into it would be to invest into technology, but also invest into the broader markets. Just invest into um, the top of the top markets, right? The S&P 500, the Dow Jones. You can invest into FDVV. You can invest into SCHD, the real estate market, the financial services markets, whatever, right? Those sectors. Um, but just invest. If you get your life started the right way, in the end, you'll look at it and you'll go, this is the best decision I've ever made. 10 years from now, your what felt like $10,000 invested is worth $100,000 or something because over time it's been able to grow and you've been invested into things that are growing by 27%, that are growing by 30% in a year. Like that's what you want. And you consistently invest no matter if the market is down or the market is up. Don't look at it as if, oh, I'm up a crazy amount, I'm not going to invest anymore. Just continue to invest in the market, continue to put your money there, and you won't be sorry. But for the sake of the long term and establishing in crypto, try and do the same thing. Right? Invest into things that you believe are going to be worth a lot more in the end, whether it's XRP, having 1,800 of it, um, getting to a $10 price point, getting to a $100 price point. You'll be able to see so much in gains. Right, $100 price point at your 1,000 that you hold, 2,000 that you hold, or whatever, or 1,800, you're looking at $180,000. I mean, I'll take that any day of the week, right? You don't have to wait for $1,000, but you have $180,000 in your long term. I don't know if I would if I were you. And again, look, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I don't know if I would take profit at $10. The reason I'm saying this is because I feel as though XRP is going to be a major part of this economy in the end, right? So if you look at your 1,800 and you take profit after $10, right? I don't know what profit that is. You take profit after $10, so you're looking at what 18,000. You get $18,000, or you get what? Let's say you take $8,000. You get $8,000 off of the money that you invested, and you're sitting with 10,000 or 1,000 coins. That could have been $180,000 in the next 5 or 10 years or something. versus the $8,000 that you took as profit. That's, especially since you have time, like you have time to fully establish your life. If you're fully engulfed in life where you have student loans, you have a mortgage, you have bills to pay, you have personal loans, maybe credit card debt, all of these things. Like there's times where people are like, I need this money to pay these things off. That's understandable. You're 22, maybe in college, maybe not, maybe just out of college. I don't know, or maybe you didn't go to college. But if you did, whatever debt that you had could be paid by the amount of XRP that you have left in the end, and how much that's being able to gain, or how much you're able to gain on that. So it's totally up to you on what you want to do. I'm not going to tell you what not to do. But guys, I have to get out of here. It is 7:20. I have to get these kids ready for school and take them to school. So this was a good live stream. We didn't go through any of the articles that I had planned on going through because we just talked the entire time about cryptocurrency and the potential of where things can go and all that stuff. So I appreciate you guys. And I love the conversations. I wish we can continue to have these, continue to move, continue to talk. But like I said, I have to take the kids to school. So I'm going to put out some videos later on different cryptocurrencies, and definitely check out my link in the chat in the description for BTCC if you guys are interested in signing up for a platform that can allow you to trade up to a 500x leverage if you wanted to. Also, check out my links for Twitch, for Kick, for X. Anybody that's watching on those platforms, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. There's one more thing that I wanted to mention. I can't remember. Check out my other channels. I have a Matthew Perry 2 channel where I talk about primarily stocks and more of the personal finance side of things. So I'll have some reaction videos where I go over some TikToks and look at the last one that I did was talking about student loan debt. I want to see if I can find it before I get out of here. But I talked about student loan debt, and I think it was a good video, giving people maybe a little bit of advice and just talking about it. Only got about 165 views, but I love making different concepts of videos and different types of conversations that we can have. But yeah, this is the channel, Matthew Perry 2. Sits at about 18,000 subscribers, and we talk about stocks, like how much I get in dividends off of, SCHD. An update of 1,000 shares. I talk about my dividend portfolio and how much I gained in dividends over the month, all that stuff. So feel free to check it out. But I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys